What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Between the Lines 2022 predictions and power rankings. Baseball starts Thursday, Colton. It's a great day. How you doing?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Not only does baseball start on Thursday, we got the Masters. Tiger's back. I'll be at opening day. Albert's back. I mean, you couldn't draw up a more perfect week for a baseball and a golf fan.
I'm going to say it right now, though, do not bet on Tiger Woods. Don't bet on Tiger Woods.
Please.
After 15 million, like the sports books are making so much money doing these special promotions on him. Yeah, get Tiger 100 to 1, get him whatever. He was 100 to 1. He's gone down to like 70 to 1, 60 to 1. Like people are just putting money on because it's Tiger Woods. And he said, yeah, I have a chance of winning the Masters. But like, don't put money on Tiger Woods.
People are they're reading too much into that. And I said that today. They're reading too much into that quote because one, I mean, have we not watched Tiger Woods for like the last 25 years? If the guy is going to play, he feels that he's going to win and compete. I mean, he's not going to come in there and kick rocks and, just miss the cut. That's just not going to happen. So, but again, it's a good week for both baseball and golf, but we're here to talk baseball.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we won't talk about the romantic element of Tiger Woods coming back to the Masters. I already got a comment rolling in here. Let's see who this is. Tom, what's up? Mine comes out tomorrow for projected standings. Tom, we will be waiting for that. Patiently waiting. We're
going to do that here in a little bit. So we'd love to hear your input.
Yeah, Tom. So let us know in the comment section. So we're going to start here. We're just going to break down every division, kind of do a quick run through, and then give our predictions for the award winners, the World Series champs, all that. I mean, how can you not bet on the Dodgers right now? I think that's my take, but we'll find out in a little bit what Colton's got in mind. So Colton, let's start with the American League East here. Keep in mind, I am a Red Sox fan. So let me know what you're thinking in this division.
This is a division that I'm really torn on because your top three of Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Yankees are just going to eat each other alive this year. The Blue Jays, I still am the jury's out on them, in my opinion. But I really solidify. I think Boston in the top two. I'll go Boston to win the division. I'll go Toronto to finish second and Yankees to finish third. I can't buy in on the Yankees. They're a team that just kind of implodes towards the end of the season. And I think with a lot of turmoil within their organization, I don't know if this is going to be their year.
Boston to win, Colton.
It's bold.
That's bold. That's very bold. I don't see, you know what, though? You look at the Rays last year, they win 100 games, right? Obviously, they're not as good as they were, and the Red Sox are not getting as much credit as I think they deserve. They're like plus 600 to win the division. They got better in the offseason overall compared to last year. They need to get hot at the right time with their bats. The pitching rotation scares me a little bit. Chris Sale's already hurt. I don't think Nathan Eovaldi should be a day one starter by any means, but I think the Red Sox are going to surprise some people.
It's been a long day. I totally forgot that the Rays were even in that division, so I'll go with the Rays third.
Okay.
And then Yankees finish fourth. I think no, actually we're gonna go Rays second, then Blue Jays third, because the jury's still out, and I gotta see him put a season together before I can really kind of commit to him. So we'll go Red Sox, Rays, Blue Jays, Yankees, and then obviously Baltimore, who everyone will forget about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in love with the Toronto Blue Jays, honestly. I think, like, if there's a game off, the Red Sox aren't playing, I'm going to be watching the Blue Jays 100%. If I have my 4-screen layout on MLB TV, the Blue Jays will be one of them 100%. I have them to win the division. I think they have to win the division. What they've done, the moves they made in the offseason, it makes complete sense for them to win this division. I can't buy in on the Yankees, not because I'm a Red Sox fan. They just haven't been that good. They haven't been in the World Series since 2009. Like, that's a problem. I was on Twitter the other day and I said they posted their spring training lineup for the day. And it's like a lot of swing and miss in this lineup. And someone messages me or, replies to my tweet. And he's like, what's that have to do with this group? It's like, it's a problem. Like, they haven't won anything. Like, the swing and miss, like the overall philosophy in New York isn't working.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're at the stage I said last week where it's win or go home. And I just don't think that they're ready to win now.
Yeah.
They've got pieces, but I just don't know if they have all the right pieces at the right time.
Yeah, so I'm going to go, before we move on here, I'm going to go Toronto to win. I'm going to pick the Yankees to finish in second. I am. I'm going to go Red Sox Rays. I think the Rays finish in fourth this year. I think they are down. And then I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles to round up the division. Colton, I have a question for you about the Orioles. 51 wins last season, or 52 wins, and their totals at 61.5. I took the under. Keep in mind they are going to be better this year, but the teams in the division got so much better. What would you say on that?
I would go with the under as well. I think the AL East might be the toughest division in baseball this year, without a doubt. I mean, you have 4 teams that easily can solidify themselves as a playoff team, and they will be hungry, and it will be the gauntlet to get through. I think that division this year, whoever comes out on top and finishes in the top few teams.
Yeah, definitely. Tom says, Tanner, that is mine too. And, you know, like the 1 through 4 is going to be separated by a few games. I don't think anyone wins 100 games and then the next is like 90. I think it's all going to be 88, 87 to 92 wins in that range. So we'll move on to Central. Colton, you probably know a little bit more about the Central than I do, at least in the American League. I know you're a National League guy. I think the Tigers are going to be they're going to be improved this year. I'm not saying they're going to be great. Guardians and White Sox, those are the 2 teams that I'm looking at in this division. I don't know about the Royals with what's his name starting on opening day.
Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt. Who's starting on? Who gets the ball for him on opening day?
Is it Greinke?
It's Greinke. Yeah, Greinke gets the ball on opening. Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name there. But I don't see like they're going to be screwed with that. And then you got the Twins who are going to be improved with Carlos Correa.
I want to make an old man joke for the Royals giving Greinke the ball on opening day, but the Cardinals are throwing Adam Wainwright out there, so there's not much I can say. But in this division, I think that Cleveland's going to have a down year. There's not they traded a lot away, and I just don't. I mean, I really don't know what they have, all around, but I'm not a big fan of their team. I think the White Sox kind of run away with this division by about July, late July. This division should be pretty well wrapped up. I think Detroit might surprise some teams. The Royals, they'll probably be kind of somewhere in that 3-4 range. But again, at the end of the day, I think this is a division that the White Sox can kind of run away with. Minnesota, I don't know what we're going to get out of them yet. Obviously they signed Carlos Correa, and he will be a big part of that offense. I don't know what they have pitching wise, but Minnesota will kind of be fighting, I think, with Kansas City, and they might be able to sneak in there with Detroit. But again, this is just a division that the White Sox will run away with.
Yeah, White Sox run away with this division, but I think you get another playoff team out of here. I think the Tigers surprised some people this year. Not saying they're going to be great by any means, but they're building a foundation under AJ Hinch to at least do something in the future. Royals, if you're starting Zach Greinke, I love Zach Greinke. If you're starting Zach Greinke on opening day, though, you're in trouble. That's what I'll say about that. You got Bobby Witt Jr. I think it's going to be between the Tigers and the Twins. I think the Guardians might do something, but they're more of a middle of the pack team, and the White Sox run away with it.
I agree.
Yeah. So AL West here. This is an exciting division this year because the Astros got worse, the Athletics got worse, the Mariners got better, the Angels, if they can stay healthy, they might do something in this division, and the Rangers got better overall. I mean, they're not going to do as much this year because but they got the pieces in place to be successful in the future. But who do you have in the West?
I'm gonna go with a bold statement here. I think this is Seattle's year.
Okay.
I think Seattle's gonna win the division. Houston did get a little bit worse. Lance McCullers Jr. I don't know if he's back off of his injury yet or not. I believe he went out in the playoffs or in the World Series with an arm injury, right? Yeah. So a lot of their success is going to be detailed around their pitching department. Verlander will be the face of that department, and with McCullers as well. If he's healthy, they'll contend, and they might be a playoff team still. They've got a rookie that's taking over for Correa at shortstop, and they're really high on him, and they think that he could be even better than what Correa would have provided. I don't know how true that is, but you still have Bregman, Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and just a lot of good bats in that lineup. So I think they'll still be able to contend. But the Angels are going to be interesting because obviously Ohtani, Trout's got to stay healthy. They pick up Syndergaard. If Syndergaard can be remotely close to what he was in his best days with the Mets, I think that they could really turn things around. And they might be able to contend for that division. But I'll go Seattle because I really think that they made a lot of good moves over the offseason. Eugenio Suarez, they picked up him. He'll be a good bat at third base. Jesse Winker, I mean, arguably could have been MVP, I believe, in the NL last year. And I think, Robbie Ray with their pitching staff, they'll be right there. And they made some good moves. So I'll go Mariners, Astros, Angels, and then, your last two teams of Oakland and who's the last team that I'm missing?
Texas.
Oh, yeah, Texas. I think Oakland obviously will be last place, and Texas, they just spent too much money on two guys.
Yeah, and Tom, I like how you went Astros 90 wins there because I took the under on their win total. I think it was 92.5, 91.5. And then Mariners. Yeah, I think Mariners are going to be good. I think the Angels are going to be better than 83 wins. If they can stay healthy, you look at Rendon, you look at Ohtani, and you look at Trout. It's a great core right there. It's one of the best 2-3-4s or 3-4-5s in baseball. But at the same time, I still think this is Houston's division to win. Mm-hmm. But I am a little afraid when you look at Houston's starting rotation and you're going to walk Justin Verlander out there on opening day, the oldest man to ever come off Tommy John or attempt to come off Tommy John, I believe, one of them. He's pushing 40 years old now. He's like 38, 39.
He's got to be.
Yeah, I heard he's like one of the oldest guys ever to come back off Tommy John.
Yeah, he's 39.
Yeah. So, if that's Justin Verlander, sensational, former Cy Young winner, but at the same time, you're not getting Cy Young winner Justin Verlander this season, I don't think. Right.
No. This will be, I think the AL might be, they'll be a lot more interesting than I think the NL will be.
Yeah, definitely. And the one player on this team who we were talking about earlier, I don't think he deserves to be as high in the MVP voting right now, the preseason MVP odds, but Kyle Tucker, I think, has a huge year for the Astros. I think he becomes the best hitter on that team by far. Mm-hmm. Altuve's not washed, but Altuve didn't scare me as much in the postseason last year. And then Bregman's he's a stud. I'm going to be honest. So we'll go to the NL East here. Colton, Mets having some trouble already with their pitching injuries. You got the Braves, reigning World Series champs. Phillies are much better this year than the Marlins and the Nationals. So it was really a three-horse race between New York, Atlanta, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, I told you last week that the Mets were losers. I mean, it's what they are.
Yeah.
And so, you spend a lot of money on pitching. You don't really do a whole lot to retain, lineup guys, and they haven't done a whole lot. Frankie Lindor, will he be due for a big year? He's been kind of quiet the last few seasons. But I think this division is really in between Philadelphia and Atlanta. I think Atlanta's still the front runner, even though they got rid of Freddie Freeman. I mean, Matt Olson is going to be just as good, if not better, than I think Freeman would be.
Yeah.
They lost Jock Peterson, who was kind of a role player for them at times, and he's a good power bat to come off the bench. But when you look at going forward, he wasn't going to be that guy for you anymore. So I still like, they'll have solid pitching. They got a lot better in the closing department. I mean, you bring in Kenley Jansen, dude's arguably the best closer in the NL. And he'll be a good back end of that bullpen. So I still think it's their division to win. And they won 85 games, 88 games last year and won that division. Right. I think they could be a team that might get to 90 this year, and I think could win over 90. The Phillies, they have the bats to compete, but they bring back one of the worst defenses in all of MLB last year. When you look at errors and runs given up, they are one of the worst in the MLB, and their pitching staff is a little bit better. So I think if they're able to if their guys are able to dominate games a little bit more, not put so much stress on their defense, that they'll be better. I like them in second place. And then the Marlins, they're starting to build, but they still just have such a young core that they're not quite ready to win yet. And then obviously, I mean, Washington, I think besides Juan Soto, they're practically headed for a rebuild.
Yeah, I'm going to take Philadelphia to win this division. I am. I'm going to go Philly, Atlanta, New York. I think New York struggles because their whole core is based around Jacob deGrom. And we can talk about Max Scherzer as much as you want, but it's Jacob deGrom. If he's not healthy, they're not going to win games. With Philadelphia, you got Bryce Harper, the reigning MVP. You also got Rhys Hoskins, and you signed Schwarber. You signed Castellanos. We're forgetting about him. I mean, like, that's a good core right there. They're going to be improved on defense. if they can just they get hot at the right time, I think they're going to do something special. Atlanta did lose Freddie Freeman, like you said, but Matt Olson's going to fill in just fine. I do think losing Freeman in the clubhouse is bigger than on the field.
I can agree with that 100%. I think the Cardinals kind of went through that with Albert when they lost him in the clubhouse. So, will they be able to find someone else that can kind of step up and be that clubhouse voice? But it's never easy losing a franchise player.
No. Now, speaking of Albert, I mean, we'll move to the Central here. What's up with his wife? Divorcing him after 28 years or whatever? 18 years?
25 years.
25 years.
A week removed from brain surgery. I hate to bring that up, but it's odd timing. And especially because, last week when I was, first off, I have a problem with social media, and we feel the need to know everything about everybody, especially, athletes and celebrities and whatnot. I felt like this was something that could have been handled privately. I mean, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but, his wife is just, coming off of brain surgery. So it's a lot of other things to worry about, I feel like. So I hope it's not, I mean, I hate to say it's a distraction, but, obviously going through a divorce, I'm sure is not easy. So hopefully he's able to keep his focus here with St. Louis and with the baseball team, and produce as he would. But hey, in the day after that it happened, he went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. So, I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. The old baseball thing, as soon as you get a girlfriend, you completely forget how to hit. It's an unwritten rule. But, he becomes kind of single now, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, hey.
Yeah. Hey, it just shows though. I mean, I don't, we don't know what's going on. I'll say one thing about it, but it's like, these guys can't give it up either. Albert doesn't need to play another year. His wife's having brain surgery. He's playing, like Tom says right here. They got to keep playing.
Right. Exactly. It's just it's all he's known, and it's all he'll know.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll talk about the Central here. Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, Pirates, and Reds. Reds are down. Pirates suck. Cubs are okay. Cardinals are okay, and the Brewers are okay. That's what I would say about this division.
Yeah, I think it's the Cardinals they're going to win the division. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think people are way too high on the Brewers. I'm seeing a lot of power rankings, and the Brewers are inside like the top 10, and I'm just like, yeah, they had a very good season last year, and it was mainly due to their pitching staff.
Without scoring runs. Yeah, right. You look at Yelich, he was horrendous last year.
Right. Yes. They did it without scoring runs, and I mean, their pitching staff of Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, Adrian Hauser. I mean, when you have that top 4 last year, they were amazing. Not to mention Devin Williams out of the bullpen. Obviously, Josh Hader closed things down, but I don't think that they're the group, though, to do it again. I think it was almost a one-hit wonder. I think that they'll regress a little bit, and I think that's all it's going to take, because I think St. Louis is going to get a little bit better, and they've got that vibe right now in St. Louis. So I'll take the Cardinals to win it. Brewers will finish second, because I just don't think that the Cubs, they're in that transition stage of they don't know what to do. They don't know if they're in a complete rebuild. They don't know if they're in a spot to compete. And I think if it gets to the trade deadline and Chicago is kind of in that 3rd spot and it's not looking pretty, it wouldn't be surprising for them to start trading a Wilson Contreras, to start trading Marcus Stroman, possibly look at trading Hendricks. He might be the guy to stay. But then, I mean, the Reds are in a complete, rebuild. And I'm sorry, Alex Temple, if you're watching, but the Pirates completely suck. So, and that too. So,
yeah, they're so bad. Chicago, I think, like you said, like 1 year away. They got rid of a bunch of huge pieces last year. They're probably going to finish it off this year, depending on how the season goes. But you got to test out the waters, I think, in this division, because it still is open. I wouldn't say it's wide open, but like you said, the Brewers are going to regress because batters figure out pitchers. I mean, that front 4 in that rotation came out of nowhere last year.
Exactly.
So I don't think that happens again. I'm going to take the Cardinals to win the division, followed by the Brew. Okay, Cardinals to win. You picked the Red Sox, so I got to pick the Cardinals. But I like the Cardinals to win the Central a lot more than I like the Red Sox to win the East. So I think you're going to be a happy camper there. So yeah, so we'll go Cardinals, then we'll go Brew Crew, Cubs, Reds, Pirates. And then finally, NL West. And also, one thing, I was looking at the FanDuel future markets because I did a video on Sports 2.0 Bets YouTube channel. Go check it out. You can do correct like finishing orders for every division. I think that the NL Central is a great division to do that in because I think you're really going to go Cardinals, Brewers, Cubs, Reds, Pirates. I think it's going to be pretty transparent there. The top might be Brewers, Cardinals.
I don't see the Cubs finishing higher than third, and I don't see the Reds finishing higher than fourth. I think that those bottom three are really solidified. I think it just depends on who you want or who you think will win that top two division.
Definitely. And then we'll go to the West here. You got Rockies, Giants, Diamondbacks, Padres, and Dodgers.
I'm still not in on the Padres hype. I can't get in on the hype train there. I think a lot's going to depend on if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tatis has been kind of riding his motorcycle and getting hurt and whatnot over the offseason, so he's not going to play for a bit to start the year. Sean Manaea, they picked him up. He'll be a big contribution for them in their starting lineup. They might have one of the better lineups, but I think we've seen the best of Blake Snell. I think last year was a big regression year for him. And so he's either got to continue to be where he was with the Rays, or he's going to be a guy that possibly could have been, a waste of a trade. And obviously, Machado, they'll have other guys. They're having a little bit of turmoil right now with Eric Hosmer. I don't know what his role is going to be, but I mean, that's a big left-handed bat. One guy I do like that they picked up was Luke Voight. He'll be a DH, possible first baseman. I loved him in St. Louis. I was kind of heartbroken when they traded him away to the Yankees. But I think that was a big pickup for them because they really needed another power bat in that lineup. So I think that the Giants are going to regress because they were also a team last year that no one expected anything from, and they somehow won 107 games. I don't think that they'll do that. And I do think that the Dodgers will win over 100 games. I think that they will be the one team you can solidify to win over 100 games this year. So I don't know if the Giants slide enough down to third place, but without Chris Bryant as well, who knows where they'll be. But I'll go Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and then probably the Rockies. The Rockies might be able to surprise people and finish in third, but I just don't think that they're quite ready.
Yeah, I'm going to take that same order. I love the Dodgers. How can you not love the Dodgers? Like, we were naming off players last week. You can't even name them all. There's so many.
Right, exactly.
That's Freeman.
But I will say, one guy that we forgot about last week was Cody Bellinger, and he's been absolutely horrendous this spring. I mean, horrendous.
Well, he's on the chopping block. I was talking about him in one of my earlier videos. Like, if he doesn't perform this year, he will get traded. And there's upside with him, like in a future with the new team if he gets somewhere. But the thing about Cody is like he's just been so bad. He stepped up in the playoffs last year. I call him playoff Cody. Like he came alive a little bit. Didn't do the Dodgers anything. Didn't help him much, but still. So I'm gonna go with Dodgers to win the division. Obviously, they're too good. They're too strong. I am high on the Padres. I don't think they'll be as good as the Dodgers, but when you're rolling out Machado, Tatis and Hosmer and Voight, like all these big power bats, you're gonna be fine. But again, too, they're not gonna be as good as the Dodgers. Especially with Tatis already starting on the injured list.
Well, and especially for San Diego because they play in a hitter's ballpark as well. Yeah, it's a short porch in both corners, so I think that they'll be able to take advantage of that with their power bats.
Definitely. So that's what we're going with for the divisions there. We'll get into the MLB futures. So Colton, start with the AL MVP. Who do you like there?
I like Vlad Guerrero Jr. He had a really good season last year. So can he do that again and, repeat another good year? I think that he can. He's got, a little slimmer, a little bit, lost a little bit of weight. And I think that he, we're starting to see him steal some bases. So is he becoming, a much better all-around player? And I really, I'm going to be interested to see what Toronto is able to do. If Toronto's going to have success, a lot of it's going to be because of him. And so I like him as my AL MVP.
I am not going to be on Vladdy just because of value. I think was he plus.
I think he's a favorite.
No, Ohtani, it's Ohtani at plus 340. I'm going to throw Ohtani out because just like we were talking about before the show, like eventually the Shohei Ohtani effect is going to wear off. You can't give him the MVP every year for hitting and pitching. Vladdy, I think it is Vladdy's year to do it, but at the same time, I don't think he has as good of a season as he had last year. Like, he should have won the MVP, but it was just Shohei Ohtani was in front of him. That's what it came down to. I love Wander Franco to win this MVP award. I mean, he's plus 2,500. Let me say plus 2,200 right now, and it's fluctuating all over the place. But he hit 270 last year. He had an OBP in the mid 330 or in the mid 300s. He slugged over 400 last year. He played in 70 games. He had 7 bombs. Like, he's really good, and he got better as the season went on. He finished 3rd in the AL Rookie of the Year voting as a 20-year-old. He's only 21 this year. With the value, I think it's a steal.
One guy that I'm kind of looking at as a dark horse is your guy, Rafael Devers.
Yeah,
I think he's due for a big year. At plus 2,000, that's something that I might, think about taking.
And Devers might, lead the league in home runs this year too. He's got the power. He's got the pop. We know he can get it over the monster. We know he can drive it to all corners of the field at Fenway. I mean, he's a complete hitter. So I'm very excited to see him play this year. I think it's going to be a breakout season, especially with Story added to the lineup too. That's even more protection for him. So very excited about that.
NL MVP. I think this one's going to be a little bit. This one could be really wide open.
Yeah,
I think you look at your favorites right now. Juan Soto, the clear favorite at plus 280. I think people are way too high on Ronald Acuna Jr. I know that he was a very special player, before he tore his ACL. But they say that when you tear your ACL, when you come back, you are not the same. Especially in basketball and football, you are not the same. It might be a little bit different in baseball, but you're not the same person. You're not the same athlete that you were before. And so I really question what we'll see after he lost everything last year, didn't play, all but a few games. So I would not bet on him personally. Mookie Betts at plus 900. Okay, I can see that. And Freddie or Bryce Harper at plus 900. But I'm going to go with the guy that's down the list. And we talked about this before the show. He actually has a teammate that's higher than him. But Tyler O'Neill at plus 3,000. It's a little bit of a homer pick for me. But as he hit 34 home runs last year. What did I say his average was? 284. Yeah, 286. A 912 OPS plus. So another Gold Glove. He's a good outfielder, and he's got a power bat. The only thing that I worry about with him is his strikeout numbers. His strikeout numbers are very high among outfielders and among players in the NL. I think if he can limit the strikeouts and put more balls in play, there's no reason that he can't be an MVP candidate, especially how hot he was at the end of the season.
Definitely. My ring light just shut off, so let me turn the lighting on in here. Let's see, that's a little better. But anyways, yeah, I mean, NL MVP I think is wide open right now. Soto at plus 380, and he's the best player in the National League by far. But the problem is with him too, he's on a team that's not going to win a lot of games, and winning games does. I know the voters say it doesn't, but it does. The better teams have MVPs. Acuna, I would stay away from him, obviously, with the torn ACL. He's going to miss a month of the season. Harper, reigning MVP, not a bad bet there. Betts is a good bet, but also too, like between Betts, Freeman, and Trey Turner, like which one are you going to pick? There's too many of them, right? Who's going to stand out? They're all going to be good hitters. Like really to stand out, you got to make a difference. I kind of like Nolan Arenado at plus 2,700.
Yeah, I was looking at that as well, and I think he's due for a big year. I mean, he really was not happy with how he performed last year, and I know that he's been working very hard this offseason, and his numbers didn't exactly show it in spring, which, it's spring training. Either you take it as a grain of salt or you're overly, happy about it. Like Paul DeYoung, he's a guy that had a very good spring, but I need to see that translate for 5 months out of the year.
100%.
So I will like to see how Nolan plays this year, especially with the lineup that they'll have.
So I'll say one thing. If you take Wander Franco and you take Max Fried in a nice little parlay, plus 5,000 or 59,000. So it's 59 plus 59,700. So if you put $10 on that, it would win $5,970. It's a pretty good deal. You should just create a bunch of different combinations with these.
Yeah, there's a lot of combinations, especially because I mean the NL is going to be anybody's game.
Yeah, definitely. So American League Cy Young. So I guess I gave away my National League Cy Young pick with Max Fried, but we'll talk about that in a minute here. American League Cy Young, I think, is pretty wide open as well. Garrett Cole at plus 450. I don't like that at all. It's not because I'm a Red Sox fan. I just don't think I don't think it's Garrett Cole means as much anymore, that name. I think we're going off the name just like we go off the Yankees.
I agree 100%. I think he's kind of starting to hit that decline in his career. You look at Shane Bieber. Yeah, he's battled injuries, but he's also going to be on a team that I don't think is going to win very much. So that's either going to hurt him or it's going to really help him, because if he shines, it'll show a little bit more of how good he actually was. But if he's kind of an average year, at plus 700, I don't know if that's something that I'm willing to take. Robbie Ray, I believe he's with the Blue Jays now, right?
They traded him. They traded Robbie Ray.
Or he's either with the Mariners or he's with the Blue
He's with
Jays.
he's with the
Mariners.
Mariners. Yeah, they traded him.
So, I that would be one I would consider taking right there. But my favorite's Lucas Giolito, and especially with Lance Lynn going down now, Giolito is going to be the ace in that lineup, in that rotation, and especially with the White Sox expecting a big year out of them, I really like Giolito at plus 1,000.
I love how I don't even think they have Chris Sale on this list.
Well, but he just got injured.
Oh, wait, plus 6,000. Yeah, but they would still have him on the list. Plus 6,000, I think, is a good bet for Chris Sale, maybe. It's a good bet in the sense of it's got good value because he's not playing right now. So if he gets back quick enough. Garrett Cole, I don't like. Shane Bieber, I don't mind at 700. Robbie Ray, I like that at plus 1,000. I like Giolito at plus 1,000 a lot. And you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. I think it's worth touching like a Shane McClanahan at plus 2,000. But again, this is such a wide open race. It's going to be hard to pick right now.
If you're looking real deep, I'd see Chris Sale at plus 4,000. Hyunjin Ryu, pitcher for the Blue Jays. I think he'll be, another good year out of him. It would not be surprising to see him in the running late.
Definitely. I think even like this might sound crazy, but a guy like John Means, they don't take wins and losses into account. He's not going to be winning a lot of games in Baltimore. But John Means is an all-star pitcher. Like he's like at plus 8,500. I wouldn't touch it, but like don't just look at the teams that are good here. Like because you can look at a guy that's going to be a shutdown pitcher on a bad team. You look at like Jacob deGrom's won a Cy Young with 11 wins or something like that.
Right.
So you don't have to look at the wins there. And then we'll go National League Cy Young. Who you got here, Colton?
The guy that just got traded. I really like Sean Manaea. I think he'll be in a good position with a good team. He'll have a chance to succeed right away. He wouldn't have had that in Oakland had he stayed. So I think that the best spot for him is on a winning team.
Yeah. I like Walker Buehler at plus 950. I also like Max Fried at plus 2,500. Those would probably be the two. The thing about Buehler is he got shelled the other night by the Angels, like taken to the freaking cleaners. But still, he's going to have a bad night here and there. I like Walker Buehler at plus 950. I think it's his year. He's finally getting the ball on opening day. This is his rotation. No longer, it's not Clayton Kershaw's anymore. So I think he's gonna have a big year and respond to that.
Yeah, Julio Urias wouldn't be, a surprise, possibly a Jack Flaherty, depending on, where he is at. If he's able to stay healthy. Zach Wheeler, I think, could be a possible candidate. But again, it wouldn't be surprising to see Scherzer at plus 600 just shove everybody for the entire season and just go out there and dominate, even though he's, got that hamstring issue right now. He's kind of a guy that can just shove 8 innings, no problem. But will he be able to keep that up throughout, an entire year, especially in, with the Mets? I don't know.
Yeah, and I would buy if you want Jacob deGrom, if you want to take a risk on that, buy it right now at plus 2,000 because it was like plus 450 or something before he got hurt. So if you want to get it, if you think he's going to come back, which I don't think he's going to make a great comeback this year, he's going to pitch probably 8 games and be dominant and then get hurt again. I'd buy it right now though. So that does it, Colin. Nice show. Predictions and power rankings.
Episode 2 in the books. Next week, we'll have actual baseball to talk about.
Yeah, we will. So it's very exciting stuff. Thursday games, opening day Thursday, and then the second batch of opening day games are Friday, and then we got a full slate on Saturday. So could not be more excited about that. You're going to opening day. You're doing a show, I hear.
I will be. Join me live. It'll be a St. Louis sports special on probably maybe my Twitter, the socials here, the St. Louis sports Twitter. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet, with the logistics of the show, whether it's going to be inside the stadium, outside the stadium. I don't know. I haven't, narrowed that down yet. But I should probably get on that because it's almost Thursday.
Yeah. You got a day to plan it out.
Exactly. But no, I'll be excited. So, by next Tuesday when we talk again, the Cardinals will be 3-0. Who the Red Sox got in their first?
Yankees.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be fun to talk about. Garrett Cole, day one. Cole versus Eovaldi. I think we win that with ease day one.
Is that in Boston or in New York?
No, it's in New York because it would first opening day game in Boston's next a week from Thursday.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll go to that or not, but very excited about it.
Hey, baseball season. I mean, it's hard not to be romantic about it.
Yes. How can you not be romantic about baseball? It's a good way to end the show, Colton.
Exactly.
So that was episode 2 of Between the Lines, guys. We will see you next week for another episode. Colton, thanks for joining.
See ya.